Hey guys, welcome to my little paintbrush. Today we get to paint this snow globe, one of our faves. So perfect for the season. Hope you enjoy all the colors and have a good time with me. Remember, you get to go at your pace. You can go really fast or you can slow it down, go back, whatever you need to enjoy this experience, all right? It's all about having a good time and learning a couple new things as we go. So I'm going to have a couple brushes today. This is a large flat. I have a medium black flat and a detail brush. These are the ones I love the most for this painting. You can use what you love. I also have a jar of water handy and a napkin and all of my colors laid out on my palette ready to go. The reason I lay them out is so I don't contaminate my colors all at once. I love to mix and create colors with other colors, so I like to lay them out. Be sure to do that. It will help, okay? Well, let's start by warming up. We need to take a flat brush and put it in some water, rinse it out. I'm using my biggest flat because I'm going to start with my background. I like to start with the background because it just gets my paint muscles going, and it is an easy way to do that. So you'll notice on your palette that you have lots of colors to choose from. You can create whatever color background you want. I chose blue, and I always mix a little bit of white with my blue, just like this. And I do this because I want to lighten up the shape. Also, it goes on better with white. White is your best friend when you're creating. I'm going to also pull in just a little bit of turquoise. It just makes it really pretty. Now I want to keep the outside of my globe darker than the inside of my globe. That's very important. So as you prepare your color, remember whatever color you're using for the outside, you're going to lighten that shade for the inside, okay? Let's start at the top, and we're gonna brush around our globe. I'm doing my very best not to paint inside of it. I wanna keep it lighter, and I wanna be able to see my outline. Now, if you accidentally paint inside, it's okay. Don't stress it too much. It's all right. Okay, now as I get closer to my globe, I'm going to slow down, but you can see I'm brushing back and forth using the back of my brush and the front of my brush. Back and forth, right? Okay, and then we're going to come down and paint around the bottom. You can also paint the sides of your canvas. Our artists know that we love to do that in our studio. We love to paint the sides of our canvas. That way it just looks so nice all the way around. So if you want to reach around and paint your sides, do that now. And you're noticing, right, that I'm getting up close, but I'm not painting against my globe yet. And I'm going to show you why. Oh, got something in my throat. Okay, so my brush is still full of my background color, right? You see here? Here's my background color. Now I'm going to put a little bit of white on the corner of my brush, just like that. Just dip the corner of your brush. Face it towards your globe. And we're going to go around the globe. I'm trying really hard to remain solid on my canvas and not pick up my brush. I do that so that I can try and get a nice smooth circle shape. It's very difficult, so just do your best. I'm also pointing that light against the globe. It brightens it up, kind of makes it look like it's glowing a little bit. You see that? So it looks like your globe is kind of glowing. So I'm going to go back and forth around my globe, blending in that white up next to it, just like that. Okay, now we're going to do it around the bottom as well. Come up close, go all the way around. You want to do this before your paint dries, so I kind of have to work quick because for me, with all these lights on me, my paint dries so fast. So I kind of have to go quick. There we go. Now let's do the other side. I have to get my paint wet again. See how I'm brushing? You don't have to do that, because your paint probably isn't dry yet. Mine is. I'm going to go all the way around here. There we go. And just brush back and forth. Make sure we have a little bit of light showing, right? There it is. Just had to get my paint a little bit more damp. Now it's working for me. There we go. Okay, so once you do that, you can also kind of brush in some white here. If you feel like you want some white around the background of your globe, some streaks, you can just brush those in, okay? Just brushing it, brushing it. Love it. I do want a little more light around mine. I'm gonna brush that in real quick. I want it to show up for you so you can really see the difference. You kind of see where it's lighter and where it's darker, right? Does that help a little bit? Hopefully it does. There we go. Perfect. Now, once you have your background done, we're just going to let it dry and we're going to do the inside of our globe now with a lighter shade of blue. So you already have your color mix here. You're going to add a lot of white. Okay. We want it to be really, really light so it stands out. You can add a little bit of turquoise and blue, whatever you want, but make sure that it's a lot lighter than the outside of your blue, okay? You might have to pull in quite a bit of white. So do that if you need to, okay? Keep it very light. Very important. Just like that. Okay, now once I start painting, I'm going to look at it and try and decide if I want it lighter, and I think I do. See how much lighter I'm getting it? I really want it to stand out and not look nearly as dark as the background. Okay, so I'm putting a lot of white in this background. I just want it to have a little bit of a reflection of the blue, but not too much. Okay, because we don't want to take away from the globe. And if it's the same color as the background, you know what happens? You won't be able to see the globe anymore. Okay, it's very important that you keep the inside of the globe a very different shade than the outside. Make sure it's a lot lighter. Okay, there we go. I like it. Looking so good, right? I'm just gonna fill it in. I'm trying to go around my tree so I don't paint inside of it, because I want to be able to see my tree and my star to paint it later. Don't want to lose it, right? I'm being really careful. Brush out any strokes you might have. Okay, go all the way around. Keep our circle going. This is the tricky part, right? I'm going to try not to lift up my brush. I'm going to try and just go all the way around without picking it up. That's what gives us a smooth edge, is if we try not to pick up our brush as we go all the way around the globe. That gives us the smoothest result. Love it so far. I hope you are loving it as much as me. So fun. Okay. Now as I go around the edge of my globe here, putting white here across around the edge, letting that white kind of glow just like you did with the outside. So you can also use a detail brush and you can outline that if you want. I just put a little bit of white on the corner of my brush like that, and I'm following that edge just like I did before. And now let's do it around the bottom part. And I'm not too worried if it's a perfect circle right now, okay? we can go back and outline it and fix things later. Okay, I can't even see the top of my canvas right now, so I'm hoping it looks good. I'm too short. I can't see the top very well, but I think it's pretty good. All right, so now that I have my background in, okay, I'm gonna take white streaks and we're gonna brush the white along. Put a little bit on your brush and we're gonna brush these white. The reason we brush these white highlights around is so that it looks like it's reflecting. We want to add a little bit of a reflection. Okay, so I'm just brushing in some white for a reflection. And you can add more later if you want to. Just depends on what you like. Okay, then I'm going to add a little bit of a darker shade for a reflection. Oh, I want it darker than that. I just don't want too much, you know? But see how I'm brushing in a little bit of the dark. Okay. And I always start with just a little bit because you can add more later. But I start with a little bit. But as you add the light and the darker shades, it just makes it look like you have a reflection happening. Okay, so pretty, right? I got a curve, so I'm trying to use my brush to curve around the globe. It makes it look more round. Okay, but I do want it just a little darker. A little bit darker highlights. There we go. Just so they stand out a little bit more. There we go. I like that a little better. You can just have fun with it. Keep messing with it till you like it. Oh. Unless you're like me and suddenly you're like, whoa, that was too much. It's okay. You just brush it out. It happens. Okay. Gotta add more white. Brush that one out. Bring it around. There it is. We'll do it again. Might have to wait for it to dry just a minute, but okay, let's let it dry. We'll come back and add some snow in a minute. We want that to dry though for a second. I'm gonna rinse out my brush really good. Okay, let's see here. Once you rinse out your brush, we're gonna do the base. I just want to get a smaller flat brush, shake it off, add a little water to it. See here, we're going to do the base of our tree, and we're going to do the base of our globe, okay? So I'm going to add a little more white here to my palette, and we're going to mix it with some brown. Okay, just like that. I'm going to start with a really light brown, and you'll see why. Start with a little bit of white and brown, but it's super light, right? It'll get darker as we go. So let's start first with our base. I brush back and forth, just fill in the space back and forth. You might need 2 layers of brown because brown is a little tricky this way. It is a transparent color. If you've never used brown before, you'll know what I mean pretty quick. Brown is one of those colors you can see through. And so you have to sometimes do more than 1 layer. I just keep that in mind. And I'm trying to go straight across the bottom there and give myself a nice line. But paintings are perfectly imperfect, right? And lines are very difficult, just like circles. They're just difficult. So you have to be patient with yourself and take your time. And if you don't have the perfect line, just remember it's okay. That's what makes a painting so beautiful. We always tell our artists, those are the things that make your painting unique to you. Your own personal touches. Now I'm curving the edges. Some of our artists like a straight edge. So if you prefer a straight edge, that's all right, do it. Okay, you get to decide on that, on what you like best. Go all the way over. Okay, brush it out. Make sure you have a good layer on there. Make sure I go all the way down. This is where you can paint the bottom of your canvas too. Now let's do the base of our tree while that's drying for just a minute. Right here under our tree. We're just going to fill that in. Up and down. Okay. Around the bottom. Now we're going to add some snow to the bottom of our tree, so don't panic too much about how perfect it is. You're going to cover up the bottom of that tree too, right? So I'm not too worried about that. All right, so we're going to let that dry a second. I'm going to rinse my brush. It's clean. There we go. All right, okay. Now, this should be pretty close to dry. Mine is drying really fast. All right, but what we're going to do now is get ready to do our tree. And the tree color is green, and you get to mix it. So I'm going to take white right here and mix it with this phthalo green. Then I'm going to add some yellow to it. And you're going to notice as soon as you add the yellow, it starts to change color. It's not turquoise anymore. Now it's becoming more of a lime green, right? Okay, and you get to decide if you want it darker. You add more phthalo green to make it darker, or you add more yellow to make it limier. I like this shade right here. This feels good to me. So I'm going to start at the top around my star. And I'm going to try not to pick up my brush or paint inside my star, but if it happens, it's okay. I'm going to go around, go up. Now here's the thing, when you're painting this tree, it's kind of like frosting it or an ice cream cone dripping, okay? You're going to add this drip that looks like a smiley face all the way across. So you're curving your brush and creating a smile shape along the bottom. See that? So keep that in mind as you're painting your tree. Curve your brush so you get that smile, right? So cute. Okay. We're going to do the next layer. Same way. Creating a smile, drip, smile, all the way across. And this is fun for our artists to do. They love to do this little drip smile all the way across. It's such an easy and fun way to paint your tree branches. And then you create your smile at the top too. Going right along. And fill it in. Make sure you brush out all the drips and the brush strokes. And then let's do our last layer. Okay, same way. Start at the top, do your smile drip, down and up. Try not to pick up your brush. You're just spinning it. Takes a little bit of practice, huh? But it makes such a fun shape for your tree. And then the top, do the same thing, smile. And if you do that, instead of just brushing back and forth and filling in the space really fast, you're gonna get a fun tree with those perfect strokes and that perfect shape. So it's important not to rush some things. You've got to take your time, right? All right, let's let that dry for a sec. And while it's drying, go back to our brown. And just make sure you have a good layer on there. I like to just make sure that my brown is nice and covered. Back and forth, back and forth. Usually I just need 2 layers. 2 layers of brown. Now, I'm going to show you how to float. You can also outline this. So if you were to take a detail brush and get just the dark brown, what you could do is just follow the edges like this with your dark brown. Our younger artists prefer this method, like this, okay? And you can follow the edges with the dark brown. It looks so great. It's just fine to do it this way. You can do that, or you can float it, which is what I love to do. I like to have the brown on my brush and I put a little bit of the dark brown just on the corner, one corner. I face that corner out, okay, and I'm gonna follow the edge, outside edge, with that darker shade. And you can see how the outside looks darker, right? We will outline this a little bit, so don't worry too much about having it perfect. It can be perfectly imperfect, okay? But the idea is just to shade those outside edges. So I'm going to go along the edge here and separate the center, right? Just like that. Do this side too. I like to just kind of blend it in. So use an outline if you prefer. They both look awesome. But here we have our edges now darkened and floated so nice. Okay. I'm going to do the same here, facing the brown towards that bottom edge in the middle and floating. It's just adding dimension to your painting so it doesn't look as flat. Has more of a bubbly look to it. Like it's coming away from the canvas. Go along the bottom as well, a bit darker along the bottom. There we go. Love it. Okay, and we'll do the same with the tree. This will add shading to it. I'm going to make sure I just go over it one more time with the brown. It's a nice, oh, I got some green in it. That's okay. We're going to blend that in. All right, make sure we have a nice shade of brown on there. Now I'm putting some dark brown on the corner of my brush, and I'm going to follow the outline right under the tree. It's going to add a shadow, which is good. That gives us dimension, right? From the tree, like it's reflecting or casting, not reflecting, casting a shadow. So I'm focusing a lot of the dark under the tree. And you can add as much as you want to that. That's perfect, just like that. All right, let's let that brown dry and finish up our tree. I'm gonna rinse my brush really good here. Now with our tree, it's going to be the same kind of thing, okay? We have our green here, right? You've mixed with the phthalo and the yellow and the white. So we have all that mixed. See how messy my palette is? That's what I mean. I love mixing colors and having fun with this. So we just want to make sure our green has a good cover And then I'm going to show you how we outline or float around each of our shapes here on our tree. Same thing as with our base. All right, just so you can see it, so they can stand apart. But our green is like our brown. Sometimes it needs another layer. So now that my tree is all ready, I'm going to take my brush or my detail brush. I'll show you first with the detail brush for our little artists. Take the dark phthalo green, just like that. Okay, and you're just going to go along the edges like this and circle round. Just like that. See? Okay, and you can do this and it's very cute. You can go all the way around just like this. It's very cute. And follow your tree around just with your outline. Or you can float it with me. I'm going to take my flat brush, put a little green on the corner. Okay, and I'm going to follow it around just like this. Same thing. Very cute. A little bit different look to it. Okay. There's no bad way to do this. They're just different. And you get to decide what you like best. Okay. I'm also going to go around the bottom of the star. This casts a little bit of a shadow too, and I love that. Remember to go with the shape of the tree. Move your brush in the shape of the tree. Okay. Very important to do that so you get the result that you're looking for. And your tree becomes layered rather than flat, right? I went outside the line on that a little bit. That's okay. That's all right. We can add white later if we need to. All right. And then just under the star. There we go. Oops. Okay, so we have our other layer here. We can go around, same thing. Need a little more green on there, huh? Start at the corner and do a hook. Smile all the way across. Right? Move your wrist all the way across. It's fun to see how far you can go before you run out of paint. Sometimes I get further than others. But remember, you're decorating the tree too. So these curves aren't the star of the show. You're going to be adding things to this tree too. You can go under a little bit to add a little bit of shadow to it. If you want to go under each of your little branches. Okay, let's do the bottom part. Curve around. Do just smiles. This tree just makes me happy because it's so full of smiles all the way across. Like a cookie. Right? There we go. One more little stroke down the side. You guys may have finished this way faster than me. I am slower at these. My wrist is just not as fast as they used to be. And then I go just under a little bit, add some shadow. So fun. Like that. Look how cute it is. All right, let's let that dry. I'm going to rinse my brush. Love it so much. Let it dry a second. And let's grab a small flat. Make sure it's super clean. Okay. Because if your brown is dry, which mine is, I'm going to now add a little bit of snow just to the base. of my tree. Because it is a snow globe, right? And you can create the snow however you want. I like to start right under the tree. I'm just going to brush in some white. Okay, so grab some white, fill up your brush, and let's just brush in some white right along the base. Okay, and right here on this edge, I just have it come right up, like I'm curving it, like it's piling up there on the bottom of my globe. And I don't want it to go in my brown. If it does, it's okay. We can repaint it, but I'm trying not to. Okay, so we're gonna come straight across like that. And then we're gonna have it come down the other side too. There it is, right there. Just piling up. Perfect. Brush back and forth. Brush it out. Make sure you don't have any thick pockets. Layering up. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of my glow blue color. And we're going to add a little bit of a shadow just along the edge of the bottom of your tree there. The reason we do that is so you can see it. Otherwise, the snow gets a little bit lost, right? I want to be able to see it right there. We're just showing we're casting a little shadow right there. And then it kind of flows off. Perfect, just like that. That's optional. But we like to teach you how to add a little bit of dimension to your painting if you want to. You can put a little bit of blue in there for a shadow. So good. Okay, I'm rinsing my brush out. Just make sure you have enough white on there that you like it. You want to be happy with it, right? Perfect. Okay. I think we're about there. So we can start decorating our tree because I know it's your favorite part. It's my favorite part too. I love it. And we're about there. We get to start decorating the tree. Just gotta make sure my snow didn't cover my base there for my globe. Okay, let's paint our star. And you can paint your star any color you want. I'm going to paint mine yellow. I'm getting a flat brush. I'm making sure it's rinsed off really good. And I'm going to see my yellow over here, pick up some white, mix it with my yellow. Yellow is another color that's very transparent, so make sure you add some white to it, okay? And we're just going to go around each edge just like you did with the tree. You're just curving a smile. It's the same kind of shape with your wrist. You're going all the way around. Okay, curving it. Try not to pick up your brush. Curving those edges. Such a cute little star. All the way around. It's a fun star to paint. I love this star. It's not too difficult. You can just kind of fill in those curves. And it's cute. If you did get some green in your star, you might need to put a little bit of white over it to cover it up. Because yellow's hard to cover up. It's going to take probably some white to go right over that green. And that's okay. You can do that real quick before you paint any more yellow over it. Just take a little white and paint right over the green. And then come back to it in a minute. That's what I do. All right. Okay. Perfect. Now, let's do our yellow. While that's drying, let's grab a brush here with a round back to it. I like my medium flat brush because we're going to add the light to the tree with the back of our brush. So I'm going to flip it over, okay? And make sure you mix some white and yellow together and get yourself a good clump of it. Because you want a nice chocolate chip when you're dipping your brush. You want a chocolate chip like this. See that chocolate chip? That's what we call it. A nice chocolate chip. Okay, that's going to give you a nice circle. So, get myself that chocolate chip. And let's see how many I have. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on the top. And you don't have to do 8. You can do a lot more than me. Okay, the goal is to get from this corner all the way to that corner. Okay, so we're going to start right up here. I just do a stamp like that. Then another stamp and another stamp. So cute, right? And you're just stamping it across. They can be as big as you want them to be. You can have big circles, small circles. You can have a lot more than Miss Sarah. You do whatever you like, okay? I did that. Now we're going to do the same with the other side. We're going to start from this corner and go all the way to this corner. I'm going to start here just as if you're wrapping those lights, right? And we're stamping. The more paint you have on the back of your brush, the bigger your dots will be. So if you want smaller, oh, probably should have put a little one in between there. We'll just do that. So the bigger or smaller you want your dots, just put more paint on it, right? All the way across. Oh, so cute. Oh, spin that one. We got a big one on that one. Very cute. Love it. Okay. Now let's do a couple more from this end to that end, okay? So we're gonna start here. And go all the way across. Start going down a little bit. It's fun to have different sizes because it shows that your lights are kind of in the tree a little bit. Some are closer to you and some are further away, right? That's a good thing. Almost there. A couple more. All the way to the edge. Oh, that's so cute. I love it so much. It's adorable. Okay. This one I think I'm going to cover like that. I like it without it. There we go. Okay, fun. We're gonna let those dry while we do our little decoration globes. So let's grab a detail brush. You get to have fun with this. Now you have all these colors on your palette, right? You get to mix colors and create different color globes, whatever you want. That's what's so fun with this one. It's just so creative. You can just have fun with this. So I'm going to take a little bit of white and mix it with some of my dark blue here. A little more. I think I want it lighter. And I'm going to do some light blue globes first. So let's do this. And all you're going to do is take your detail brush and you're going to create a circle first. So paint a circle like that. I always start by creating my circle first. Then I fill it in. Okay, so there's one. Let's see, I'm going to do another one down here on this corner. Create your circle first and then fill it in. So you always try and do your circle first. That way you get a clean edge, okay? Now, let's see. I'm going to mix some red now with my blue to get this purple. See that? Now I have purple, and I'm going to come right here and put a purple globe on, or globe on there. Like it. I'll do another one. Let's see, right under here. Just kind of spread them out, just like you're decorating your tree. Isn't that fun? go. And then, let's see, let's do some red. Now rinse that. We have our red here, and I can add some white to it. Get a little messy here. Make it a little bit of a bright red. Okay, let's do a red one right here. And fill it in. You don't have to have perfect circles either, because remember, they're sitting in the tree, and so some of these circles are in the leaves, and they're not going to be perfect circles. Fill that one in. Let's see. Let's do another one. We'll do it right here. You can do small, you can do big ones. Just up to you and what you like. Now if I add yellow to this red, I'm going to get more of an orange, which is kind of fun. So if you want to try getting an orange shade, you can do that. And let's put a little orange one right here. Do our circle and then fill it in. Whoop. Got a little glob there. I'm going to brush it out. Another spot right here for another little orange one. You might need 2 layers on these, so you decide. You decide how many. But those are really cute. I'm really loving that. It's just adorable. All right, I'm gonna rinse my brush. Look at this and decide if we need any more layers to it. I think I'm going to just put my layers. See, I want to lighten this up a little bit so you see it better. There we go. It's a little better. I do like a lighter blue. So my second layer, I'm just going to light it up a little bit. You can see it. There we go. Okay, same with the purple. Light it up a little bit. Our second layer. You guys are about done. Now with the red, we get a little more red and less pink, right? Because you had white in the red and that makes it more pink. So then if you just put red over it on your second layer, makes it more red. There we go, a little more red on those. Then for our orange one, a little more yellow. We'll get a little bit of an oranger shade on those with our yellow. Perfect. Cute. I'm going to rinse my brush. Rinse it, rinse it. Okay, let's do our finishing work. So I'm going to make sure my star has a layer of yellow. It's nice and yellow for us. Rinsing my brush really good. Okay. See if I can give myself some yellow that's not mixed with my green. A little bit in there. We're just going to make sure. See how much more yellow it is now? Just make sure we have a nice layer of bright yellow on our star. There we go. Just before we do our highlighting. I like it. That's so nice. Okay, so now we have that done. Now it's time to highlight and do our snowflakes. So grab yourself a detail brush. Looks like this. Okay, we're going to use our white to highlight. Try and use some clean white if you have it. can be kind of tricky to find. We're going to now, let's just highlight our star. A little white, it just helps it stand out for us. There we go. Makes our star look a little brighter. Okay, then we're going to highlight our little, see if I can do it without smearing any paint. Whew. I'm going to highlight our tree, just curving. A little bit of white on the branches. And it doesn't have to be every branch. Just a little bit. Let's see. That way your branches stand out a little bit more. And this is of course optional. We have some artists who prefer not to, right? And you don't have to. It does help our tree light up a little bit in our globe. All right, so we're gonna do this one here. You can see I'm just brushing a little bit of white. Not too thick, just enough. But if you want it even brighter, you can add a lot more. Let's see, that's all I'm gonna do there. Now just for the top of the globe, just do a couple of highlights there, and a couple here. I like to brush it with my finger like this, so it's not too thick. See that? But it adds a little bit of light to it. So pretty. Okay, now when you are painting just the inside, if you want to really brighten up the inside of your stand, take some really, really light brown like this. Add a lot of white to your brown. Get it super light. Wipe it off so it's not too thick. We call this just dusting. I'm just going to dust a little bit of brown right down the center of our stand. And the reason I do that is it makes it look like the light is reflecting on it. Isn't that pretty? Just like that. So pretty. I love doing that just to brighten it up. Draw some attention to the center of your painting. You can add brown if you feel like it's too much. Something to try though. Love it. A little on the tree too. Draw attention to your tree. Okay, now for the snow in our globe, you're just going to flip your brush backwards, just like that. So you're using the back to stamp, okay? And you can do big circles where you spin your brush like this, or you can do smaller ones where you're just stamping like that. Okay, so you can decide how big you want them. I like doing some of both. It just brings a lot of fun to your painting when you have both in there. And it doesn't make it all the same, so it's all a little bit different. Okay, let's just add our snow. Spin that out. Try and stay in a circle as much as you can. Doing my bigger ones first. And then I can go back. Do smaller ones wherever I need to. That is kind of fun. Okay, now let's just stamp in some cute little dots wherever you think we need some more snow. Put some over here. I do like to do snow in threes, so it's kind of like this, where you have clusters together. go. And then we'll do a couple that are coming in the star. Same on our tree, just do a couple of little snowflakes coming down the front of your tree. You add as many as you want. We don't want to leave our tree out, right? The snowflakes are falling on our tree too. There we go. Let's see here. We'll do a couple here. Love it so much. Isn't that cute? Very cute. And then I have, oh, I forgot I didn't rinse that. No, don't do that. Have that green right there I was going to get, but rinse your brush first. All right, now once it dries, and it's super dry, you can put your glitter on. But just make sure before you do your glitter that your canvas is totally dry. You don't want your glitter to smear all this work, all the work you've just done, because it will. We tell our artists all the time, don't do it. Don't smear your hard work with that glitter. Okay, so while that's drying for just a minute, let's do some outlining. For those that want to, I know not everybody does. Kind of a thing. Some artists like to outline and some don't. You can add a little highlight to some of your globes here on the tree. I say globes, it's bulbs. I don't know why I'm saying globes. I'm sure Cammie's laughing at me right now. Bulbs, not globes, okay? I knew I was saying it wrong. Make sure, if you want to, you can add a little highlight to your bulbs. Cute. All right. Let's take some black, add a little water to that black. Not too thick. Okay, and what you're going to try and do without smearing anything, what Miss Sarah's going to try and do without smearing anything, is add, let's see if it's wet, because you kind of have to rest your hand a little bit, and you're going to add just a little bit of an outline along the edge of your globe. Ooh. I need to fix that spot, but that's pretty good. I'm pretty proud of myself. Okay, and then we're going to add just a little bit around the star if you want to, so it stands out. It doesn't have to be perfect, and you don't have to do this. We do have artists that love to outline and some that do not, so you do what you love, okay? Now let's see, I think I outlined, I outlined some of these just to clean up the edges a little bit if you care about that. Can outline it a little, but you already did a lot with your green when you floated, so you don't need to feel like you have to, okay? It's just if you want to. It's an option for you. Oh, there we go. The fun thing too is when you add the glitter, you'll get all these fun little sparkly snowflakes all over the globe. I love it so much. And it softens everything, so you can have lots of fun with your glitter. Okay, one more here it looks like. We're gonna go around. Just Make sure I get all these little edges for those that want to. But you don't have to go all the way across, okay? All right, now with the edge of our globe here, we're just gonna kind of go a little bit here, curve it out so you can see it. And make sure it doesn't get too lost in our background, right? And we'll do our edges a little bit too, like this. I don't go all the way across, see? I'm just gonna let it fade out. You can if you want to. Do the same on the center. Perfect. All right, I think I'll bring this one in just a little more, just like that. I love it. Make sure we got everything you may want to do there. I think it's pretty cute though. Go back in our star since I smeared some of it. Very cute though, right? Okay, now once it's completely dry, you get to do your glitter. Just want to make sure it is, because you'll notice if you glitter over it and it's not quite dry, you'll just smear the whole thing. So you have your fun glitter all ready to go. I'm gonna rinse my brush. Just make sure your brush is very clean before you glitter, okay? Rinsing my brush. I'm gonna wipe it off on my napkin just to make sure it's super clean. Okay, let's get our glitter ready. Now you'll notice that the glitter looks very white. It looks like this. See how white that is? But it dries sparkly, so I'll show you here. When you put it on, you can't even really see it. It dries so sparkly. You're gonna love it so much. It's one of my favorite things. So you're just gonna cover. I'm being a little careful right now because I'm not sure how much of mine is dry and how much isn't. And I don't want to smear it, so probably needs a little more time to dry. You want to give it that time, okay? But you're gonna paint right over the tree too. Right over the top of your tree. And all of the white spots, you'll paint right over those too. So cool. I just don't think my tree's ready for them yet. But we'll try. We'll do a little bit on our star here. Okay. A little bit right in there. A little bit. Go all the way around. But once it's totally dry, it's fun because you can just dust the whole thing in glitter. Just like that. Okay, so once you're sure it's dry, you see how white it looks when I'm putting it on like that? It won't look like that once it dries. It'll dry very clear. Just, oh, see that yellow's a little wet. Being very careful. switching my brush to a smaller one so I can be very careful. Put that, but I don't want to not glitter it. I'm just on a time crunch. You can wait. You can wait and not do it right now. There it is. Those are pretty dry. Mostly the yellow dots for me that aren't quite ready. Those are okay. Ooh. Just cover it with that glitter all over that tree. It's pretty dry right there. And watch how fast it dries. It dries really fast. I did get very glitter happy on this globe. We like to laugh about it because I definitely did. I love the glitter in the globe, so I had fun with it. Okay, so you can see I just put it all over it, really thick. And make sure I have it all over the background, really thick. That's what makes this globe so fun. You're just gonna fill it up with that glitter. You can watch mine dry. It's gonna start drying for you. Okay guys, I hope you had fun painting with me today. I'm just brushing out any thick clumps I see. I had so much fun doing this. Hope you did too. I'm gonna grab my detail brush and we're gonna find a spot to sign our name because we are owning this painting. We worked so hard on it. We did such a good job and we're so proud of ourselves. So I'm gonna find a little spot and sign my name. You can write your initials. You can put a smiley face, your thumbprint. We've seen it all. But make sure you sign your name, okay? Give it a minute. It's going to dry for you and you'll get to see it. But I hope I get to see you next time. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this painting and hashtag my little paintbrush so we can see yours. We'll see you later, guys. Bye-bye.